Ah, now we have to watch what we say.
Oh, not necessarily. You guys say good things as it is. I don't have my phone over here. What time is it? Um,
O two
oh 02. Well, you know
and
what? I think.
45 seconds.
Oh, thank you, Bill. Uh, I think we'll go ahead and start. And hope, hopefully the ladies will join us here. So, questions, comments? How do you feel you're doing with opening and closing?
For me, plateau and not very high.
Um, Meaning what?
That it, I sensed it a bit, but it hasn't really changed in a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess I could focus more on it. That might help.
Well, yes. Um, do you do you feel like you're aware of um, the joints opening and closing?
Um, yeah, in general, I'm pretty aware, maybe even too aware of the insides of my body. So, um, yeah, I'm aware of it. It's just as I say, fragile and not not
Yeah.
much going on. Yeah.
So, I, how did you feel you were doing with lengthening?
That seemed to work more. And of course, that's still a part of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's ongoing.
Yeah. Well,
These the lengthening and the opening and closing seem to be, for lack of a better word, more sophisticated aspects of the practice and might take a bit
well,
longer to develop than some of the other things we've worked on.
yeah. Certainly, this is true of opening and closing.
Yeah.
Um, Lengthening, uh, lengthening is, I don't know. It was easier for me to, anyway to feel lengthening than it was opening and closing. Um, it was, as a matter of fact, I was able to lengthen easier than I was able to twist.
Yeah.
Um, and really, I think the basic um, blockage for us in doing all of those is that we try too hard and we think too much about it and we use too much muscles and we don't recognize that um, all of them require that we let go,
Yeah.
that we release. And certainly that's what's happening with opening and closing. It's going even more, perhaps even more fully and deeply than the other things we have worked on. And it's really important to be aware of it happening from the quad down through the feet, because one of the things that we frequently anyway recognize is that if we can open from the in the lower part of the body, it opens up the upper part. Um, and it's a really yeah, it takes a while. I don't know what to, everybody's different.
Yeah.
For some people, I think opening, closing come, more easily than others. Um, I will certainly wouldn't say it was easy for me. Um, Now it's so natural that I don't even have to think about it. It's just part of what I do.
Hmm.
So it just comes from doing it. Back to my favorite word, of course. I don't know. That's a lot of words, and I don't know that that helps at all, but I think that's where it is. Because I will say, I think, Bill, that you're aware of what's happening inside your body,
Yeah.
and it's really a matter of enough practice to refine it.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm relatively comfortable the um, in the fact that my I don't divide my body between upper and lower typically. Yeah, in my imagination or anything else. I mean, so you know, when I'm practicing, when I'm working, it's all one now, whether it's doing what it's supposed to be, but it's I don't have a sense of disconnect between the upper half and the lower half.
That's great. Um, it what I would say is that's really really good because that allows you to gradually develop the awareness that the lower part of your body is actually um, generating more energy movement by a significant amount than the upper part of the body is,
Yeah.
and to begin to lead from the dantian and the quad down, not so much in the arms.
Yeah.
That it feels like you're on the right path.
I hope so. Uh, and the practice has been uh, nice for me, recently. No
Good.
big leaps, but just nice and consistent, So one of these days I'll have some sort of aha and make some noticeable progress. So,
The ahas are widely spaced in our
yeah.
practice. But yeah, it's the the thing that I think happens for a lot of us is that we're working on some aspect and working on it, working on it, working on it, and all of a sudden one day we realize that we're not having to work on it anymore. It's just happening,
Yeah.
and that's a really nice feeling when that comes. Mr. Bynum, anything for you?
Um, yeah, I think for me the opening closing has softened the whole motion, and then there are a lot of parts that we've done that are sort of like riding the bicycle that seem to be that are happening that I don't have to think about. Uh,
Yeah.
Although I shift my mind around and I'm aware that they're happening or that they aren't happening, like you lose twisting a little bit, you can get it back, and uh,
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, there is definitely a difference for me from the lower body. Just the fact that that's weight bearing, and that's where some points of discomfort can come in because
Yeah.
of what's going on with just progressing through the years, and so the lower body, starting with the low back, can come in and interfere. That has not been happening lately because I think uh, one thing I've been doing is doing a lot more weight bearing exercises at the weight machines and stuff at the physical therapy place,
Uh-huh.
which has made a big difference in my low back issues and stuff. So and improve my practice because they have less of those twinges and
That's
things that
good.
happen.
Ah, well, we have Moki and the ladies.
Ah,
Sorry.
Wow, what a day!
Here we go.
All those
Yes,
all those empty steps.
much better empty steps than us.
This one was my fault.
No fault.
We have no fault touching.
It just is.
It is what it is.
Right.
Hello. It was so cute because the two of them were looking at each other, one in the window, one outside on the
Yeah.
porch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Morning.
morning, Joanne.
Morning, David.
Good morning, Joanne.
This feels a little.
You can do whatever you like. I realize I put it on the other side of the.
Yeah, there's just a little almost more space here. I can see that. What's that? Yeah.
Good morning,
Good
Karen.
morning. Is that a new fisherman sweater? Or just haven't worn it in a while? I haven't noticed
This
it.
this is new. Actually, Jane bought it for herself, and it came in the wrong size.
Oops.
And so I got it. And yes, I think this is maybe the third or fourth time I've worn it.
Very nice.
That's so nice.
Was I reading some book set in where they were fishermen
Yeah.
And
and
Aran
wearing
Islands.
and wearing the sweaters, and that every sweater is unique.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that if they drown,
I know.
you can use it to identify
You
the
know,
body.
I know. I know.
You're
That's my, yeah. I know that, yeah.
which I had realized.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, now they're more commercial, obviously,
Oh.
but the women made them on the Aran Islands that way. That's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been discussing opening and closing no one.
Oh, shocking.
And how well
How-
you're doing it and what issues you have. So you can contribute to this discussion too.
I've been guess I could say enjoying the solar plexus.
Good.
That has kind of opened up a gateway to the dantian for me.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
And why didn't I notice this before? But so it's
We haven't talked about cavities in this detail
no.
before,
No.
I don't think. Or if we did, this is a good repeat.
Well, and I found, I mean, I missed last class, but in reading the notes, just kind of felt like there were both a few aha moments and a few connecting moments. Like, oh, I mean, as we've done the breathing, we've tried to breathe to the back, but now, okay, how it connects to the central channel, like all of that kind of, yeah, I think we're at that level where it, it's not, it just kind of clicks things together more, and how that, how that connects to opening and closing, like so.
Good.
Who closed the door, Kitty? You can't get out.
He can go upstairs. He hasn't been wanting to go out so much now that it's cold.
It's getting chilly.
So, I'm going to talk a little more today about opening and closing. It's interesting listening to all four of you, and I'd love to hear what Adam has to say too, although I haven't talked to him about this for quite a while. This is an extremely important stage, and it's one that until it's really fully complete, it's very difficult to put everything together. It is in a way, at least I found it to be almost a coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today, about opening and closing and the rotational movements. So I'll do that.
Okay.
So actually, in Chen style Tai Chi is where the term Chen Jin, which is talking about the spiraling of the energy in the body, was really made very important. Now you have all been working at some stage on basic twisting, and we all hopefully can twist in and twist out. And I have no idea what I was trying to say there. Oh well.
I know that feeling.
So this of course is used to describe our kind of basic exercise, which we call the dynamic sphere, and I'm hoping that you all remember the dynamic sphere, because we're going to play with that a little bit in a little while. So if you're really doing it, when you twist out, what do you do with your joints? You open. And when you twist in, you close your joints. So we're just talking about the fact that they're going in opposite directions, like a barber pole. So the thing is, there's a lot of other ways of doing this, where you actually only twist out or only twist in. But these occur primarily in the martial arts and in some different Neigongs. And then it starts getting to be really interesting when you get to twisting out and closing the joints. So there are different ways and you're always playing across opposite reaction forces inside the system. And the difference is that more of them you have, you can just get a stronger energy flow. But in God's plane in the clouds, it's essentially actually really very simple. It's just the opposites. Now, Bruce talked about remembering his teacher Liu Hongjie, teaching him about closing and opening the joints, and that it was quite a while after that that he introduced twisting and the fact that they are working in the same direction with opening and closing. So this is one of the things you want to think about, I think, is when you begin to work on opening and closing, you want to remember separation and then combine, and not focus on other elements at the same time. So you want to work first on the fact that you open one joint and then close another, and open another while you're actually closing everything else that you have, and letting the other things you've learned simply be present if they can, and allowing the system to stabilize your opening and closing. And then you go to probably twisting. All of you are, I think, at a level where you probably can at least twist, have moved past simply rotating. And the point is that as the twisting reverses direction, the opening and closing reverses. So opening becomes closing, closing becomes opening, twisting out becomes twisting in. Now the general rule is that wherever you're twisting your joint out, your joint should open, therefore. But for health, you don't need as many of the opposite responses. You just need to get the flow of qi. And for power, yes, the opposite reactions are absolutely important. Now, what I haven't talked about very much in the opening and closing of the joints is working with spiraling of the energy. And just you want to make sure that your opening and closing is absolutely stable before trying to combine it with twisting and then eventually spiraling. You have to begin it from all your joints open in one direction and all your joints close in one direction. And you twist only in one direction, and you twist out in only one direction. And it's only that until all those twists are smooth and your body can neurologically recognize what's if it's doing it or not. And only then can you start getting into spiraling. And I want to be real clear about this. The order in everything in Qigong, Xingyi, Bagua, Taiji, or Taoist yoga is always the same. First, just separate. Just rotate. Just turn the joints. And then learn to twist. Twisting the joints. And then when you begin to do opening and closing, only do opening and closing. And then begin to learn to add twisting and spiraling. And this is the progression, because each one leads to the other. Even just ordinary rotations can be done, but can't be done by a lot of people. they can't rotate their joints very well because their joints are jammed up. And this is very, very common, and gets more common actually in older people, because you're entering into rheumatism and arthritis, and how many injuries you've suffered through your life. So practice diligently until you can smoothly rotate, and then work on twisting until you can easily twist right down to the bone, which means the body's internal resistance has been released. Then you can start talking about doing spiraling, because it's not only that the neurological system has to accept it, it's also that the fibers of your body have to accept it. The fibers of your body have to move in the direction, or the spiraling can't accept it. So if you grow to be 8.5 feet tall, dunking a basketball isn't really a hard thing for you to do. If you're under 6 feet, believe me, it's going to be difficult. So you can't ask anybody to do what it's not, ask a body to do what it's not capable of doing. So what you can do is you can increase the capacities of what a body is capable of doing. And as it increases, encourage. Through each stage, it gets to another capacity. And then you can introduce what the next possibility is. A lot of people make the mistake of just trying to jump ahead quickly. And if you ever get really injured, one of the things to remember is that you should forget twisting. What you have to do is go back to what you can do with rotation. Because if you're really injured, your rotation is going to be knocked offline to begin with. And then when the rotation comes back, now you can get twisting again. And when you can really get your twisting going smoothly, that's when you rotate and combine it with opening and closing. So until you can really twist, forget about spiraling. Now once you could do a basic spiral, then there are a few variations that can up the power in the system. But if you can do the basic thing, you're not going to be able to do what's beyond that if you can't do the basic. Not because your mind can't understand it, but because your body can't translate the signals your brain is sending to it. So I want to play with this a little bit. So stand up. Let me ask everybody, anybody not remember how to do the basic dynamic sphere Jin movement?
Right, we were doing it recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this class, right? Maybe another one, I don't remember. No, this class,
Somewhere
because I
we were
remember
doing
being in this room.
All
I
right.
can watch it over there if Joanne doesn't stand in front of it.
Is that?
I can see it right over there.
Yeah, I can see. Oh, yeah, exactly. We all have them in front of us here.
Here we do.
There we do, yeah.
So stand for a moment. Let yourself land and breathe. step out into your basic structure. Extend your mind through your body. Really feel the inside of your body all the way from above your head to below your feet. And then sink a little and begin going into the dynamic sphere. Focus on opening and closing all your joints as you do this movement. See if you can also include your cavities. Very aware of the smoothness of your transitions from opening to closing and closing to opening. Are all the joints in your body opening and closing and twisting in and twisting out together? And are the cavities working with them also? let go of being consciously aware of opening and closing, and actually try to just be aware of the rotation of all your joints together. So for a moment, not twisting, just rotating. And feel the difference. And then if you feel that this is very stable, begin to change to twisting. Twist all the joints and cavities in and out. And feel that release. What happens? What's different? What does the energy do? And if this is very stable and you feel capable of doing spiraling, do a little of that. If not, just continue twisting and opening and closing. Complete the next cycle, ending with your left arm, and just pause and stand for a moment. Really feel inside your body. And try to be aware of what really worked and what is not quite ready to be introduced yet. There's no right or wrong. This is just where you are at this time. Let everything come back to stillness. Let go of thinking. Let yourself return as much as you can to Wu Wei. When you're ready, begin movement 2. Very aware of opening and closing your joints and cavities all together. Make sure that either twisting or spiraling is working continuously with them. When you finish the next movement, pause and close. sit when you're ready. So what did you discover, if anything, in doing that? What could you feel? What could you do? What isn't quite here yet?
At first, in doing the Chansogen, I felt my bottom disconnected to my top. This is, and I think part of it is that I really like doing it walking,
Mm-hmm.
where I feel more connected when we do the walk. But I worked on it, and then it became clearer. I was able to be more engaged and feel that I was being more intentional about opening and closing my feet, etc. My knees, my feet. Yeah.
That works more easily in the bow stance too.
Yes, it does. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just that I didn't want to throw that at everybody because.
Well, I started with that and then kind of went back to just my feet straight because it was distracting moving back and forth without losing forward.
You should be able to do it both ways.
Yeah.
That's not. I shouldn't should you, but I. Did you feel you could combine opening and closing and twisting?
Yes. That felt a natural combination.
Yeah. What about spiraling?
On and off. Not as. I would say, on and off. At times I felt like, oh, good, I have it. Then I'd be like, whoops, where'd that go?
Spiraling is difficult.
Yeah, to
Very
maintain,
difficult. And what I was saying earlier about having to get twisting to the point where you are releasing all the way down to the bone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the twisting, before you really are trying to do spiraling is a pretty important step. And it's part of why spiraling comes much later.
Mm-hmm.
We can learn to twist, certainly at the surface levels, without too much difficulty.
Yes.
And then we have to work down through the body.
And we have done work on that. Sustaining that as we learn the new things is harder. I did feel, and I found myself doing a quick check-in, just at how other people did it, just on the cavities. Like, oh, where am I here? Yeah. And once I realized, how I engaged the whole body, then, I felt like that was...
So, this exercise kind of pushes you into probably beyond where you really need to be at the moment. Because one of the things to do is, as I was saying, is to just let twisting or bending and stretching and lengthening be whatever it is at the moment until you have the opening and closing of the joints and cavities firmly and deeply established, to where you don't have to think about it.
Yep. Yeah.
And then go back to adding the things that you have learned before. It's just that good old principle of separate and then combine.
Right. I think.
And it may all perfectly come together without any effort, or it may not. everybody be a little different about that. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
That's okay. Yeah, we both start at the same time. I was going to say that at some point, some things just go together. We've kind of done it enough that I'm not thinking in pieces, right? That if you have whole body movement, then that includes the cavities, the connections, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that then you're not thinking about it. I mean, I was thinking about it more as a check-in, kind of like, oh, where am I? Because I'm listening to you. I'm kind of trying to pay attention to my body. But once I connected my top half and my bottom, I was doing better. Other than
Sure.
just kind of, but once you have whole body movement, then you have to anyway. Then you're like, duh. It's not really disconnected. I am moving up and down.
Yeah, but I've had the same, that I was focused on the upper and then realized, well, let's pay attention down below. And,
Yeah.
and that was just a few repetitions before you ended it. I could have, it would have been nicer to spend more time. But then to, let's spend a lot of time
Yeah.
Yes.
on
So
the-
that,
on the-
yeah.
And I kind of decided, I'm not even gonna try spiraling,
Yeah,
because
good.
that's,
If you could get,
yeah,
Not yet.
not today in this exercise.
and that's fine. You do what's appropriate for you. And twisting, as I'm indicating, is a really deep practice. There's a lot to it. We're inclined to just be satisfied with surface twisting, but really releasing down through the body to the bone, which is where you have to remember that's where actually the left, right, and central channels are flowing. Is at the bone level, not at a flesh level. In the arms and legs. So you have to really get these to function pretty deeply. Bill or Bill?
I think doing the Jing, the asymmetry of it with the left and right claws doing different, going opening and closing, uh, and maybe just the familiarity with it overall from decades versus years of doing number two. Uh, it was real easy to get the energy going. And I think that it was enriched by gods in that became more aware of my lower body. You always sort of, your offhand is rooted to the ground, but I was feeling more energy there too as I was going through it. The circularity is there, but there was something about the asymmetry that really moved the energy more in my lower body doing that.
Yep.
And then I think that informed just going from that into number two uh, helped inform it because I felt like I was opening and closing an opposite qua uh, and going through the Jing, and then you're opening and closing both qua uh, in two,
Yep.
but that felt more energetic. Um, it was an interesting both contrast and complement that those two
Yep.
have for one another.
Good. Mr. Nagel?
Well, likewise, I noticed I was concentrating more on the similarity between Chantajin and two, which I hadn't thought about before, but as soon as I started to do two, I said, ooh, yeah, we got quite a bit of carryover here. I will say that after the Chantajin, when we paused, I had as full a belly of energy as I've had in quite a while. So that worked.
Good.
Um, and I do want to inject one other thing. I don't know that I understand very much at all about spiraling. So at some point, maybe over the next few weeks, you can say something. I'm not sure I have a conception of it, and I may even have a physical knowledge of it in my body, and I just don't recognize that it's spiraling. That's possible, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting difference because when we are doing twisting and bending and stretching, we're usually aware of a more or less linear movement of the energy out the yang side, in the yin. And when you get to spiraling, you're talking about the energy going out in one direction and coming in another, and it's not limited to a side. And ultimately it's spiraling around the bones. So spiraling is really focusing on that movement of the energy from one point to another. It's a way of powering that energy flow. And it's a very different feeling from twisting, because rotation and twisting really are movements. I mean, yes, it's moving the energy in and out, but they're pretty much turning movements. Spiraling becomes a movement that's going from one point to another and back. It's not just turning. It's a little more difficult than twisting. Yes. So.
I associate it with, I think it was Jonas doing the workshop with these huge long poles and spiraling and feeling the
Yep.
and sending the energy out through the huge long pole.
That's a good example. I've forgotten that. Yeah.
That's when I think of spiraling. That's what.
Yep. Good.
Well, and having those images, I think, helps so much.
Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts or questions at the moment on this? Well, have some.
I don't know. Maybe not.
We'll have some fun practicing with this week. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.
Oh, I will be here next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
You will miss Carol next week. But I will look forward to seeing the other three of you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Take care. Have a
All
good
right.
week.
John has a cardiology appointment that was going to be on Thursday, and then it got changed to Wednesday. So
I had to cancel tomorrow's class
Yeah.
because my cardiologist changed my appointment.
Yes.
And it was either tomorrow or January or
yes,
February.
that was a choice. So I
Well, like I said to you, or I texted back, it's like our health is priority here.
Yeah.
There's no point
Yeah.
in, we can
No,
have class another day, another week,
That's
hopefully.
the
So,
way it
yeah.
goes.
It is the way it goes. So that's. I mean, look at last week. I was just like, by 9:30 the night before when I hadn't gotten everything done. It's like, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? I'm like, I just can't go to class tomorrow. Like, I have to get this done. And I got all 3 things I needed to do done and got to my meeting 2 minutes early.
All right.
Actually, I think more. I got to my meeting kind of 8 minutes later than it was called, but the other person was running late and told me. So, that helped.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was 2 minutes before her. Anyway.
Cool. So, in the woo style,
I've done almost no woo this week. I will confess. It's just been that kind of a week. You know, you do what you can do, and
you do what you can do.
and I'm more called to doing God's when I only have a few minutes.
I've done some this week, and we're trying to focus on the solar plexus cavity and trying to sort of pay a little bit of attention to what's going on there.
Good.
I think when you said in the class we just ended, kind of focus on your cavities, I'm like, oh yeah, now, and then I was like, oh, I'd forgotten the back of my knees. You know, it's kind of like as we add, I don't want to lose. Like,
I'm not going to add any more. There are some more, but I'm not going to add any
there are more, and then there are kind of the little. Oh yeah, there's this and that. Yeah, how many should we be paying attention to now?
Well, you can only do so much. And
Right, but I don't want to. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it can be forgetful.
I'm,
things like
and
this.
and I completely recognize that I have introduced them a little quickly.
That's okay. Yeah, that's. We're not
But
complaining.
you know, I have no. It's interesting. I have no intention of or plans to stop teaching, but I figure at my age I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow.
That's right.
But your body may tell you, stop teaching now.
Yeah,
That's right.
I mean that's possible.
No, you don't know.
Good
So,
as I'm feeling today. So I sort of have this feeling of wanting to impart as much
Yep.
information to you as I can so that you can continue to practice.
that's right.
And even if I'm not around or not teaching, the videos can stay.
Yes. Yeah.
They don't have to go away. And your notes don't have to go away.
Well, it's
So-
interesting because there are times when we say, oh, lengthening or spiraling or, you know, whatever. It's like, I have an old handout on that. And I go back and I find them sometimes, longevity breathing, you know, whatever, kind of like
Yeah.
just because I do find that the reading just kind of, maybe reminds me of something else or something I'm forgetting
Sure.
or just refreshers never hurt. They help a lot, so.
You know, that's one thing about this practice is that every time you go through it, through repeat a section, you go a little deeper.
Right, and you have aha moments about why you
Yeah.
know that other thing, or how
Yeah.
it connects, or that happened to me this morning. It's like, oh yeah, okay, right. Like it's that in 2, that didn't take 2 seconds to remember all the cavities. You know, it's like because they're. It's not like, oh, I have to remember this one to do something with this one. It's like they're all in sync. The movement does it.
Yep.
Kind of just doing a quick check.
That's true because in the dynamic sphere, obviously each side is doing the opposite, and so
Right.
it's much more complex.
Right. The 2 is such a good,
Yeah,
you know, yeah.
it's
It's just a good practice.
a good way to approach new things,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then when it feels comfortable in 2, you try to get it into 3.
Well, that's it. Once you can embody some things, it's easier to go, oh, and now, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is how it is or where it is.
yeah.
And then you get to 7 and say,
What? Say again? Although every so often in 7 I'll go, oh, okay, I get it there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's really slow. really slow.
Days when 7 is better than others.
Yeah.
Should we just flow the first
Paragraph?
That sounds
Could
good.
try to do that again. I said I kind of, yeah. I know, it's terrible that I don't even get it done once in a week. This week was just...
You
And
have,
then-
you have very busy.
Well, and I get up and then I'm like, suddenly Rick's not working, so he's around being, and it's like hard to just get the space, or somebody calls me at 7:30 in the morning saying, did you forget you needed to help me get that stove? Blah, blah, blah. It's like,
God.
You're not hefting stoves, I hope.
no, but but the stove at Voluntown, the oven has been gone for a while, and over the summer that was not an issue, but Thanksgiving approaching, suddenly it's like, oh my God, we need a stove. No, I'm getting other people to do it, but
But you have to get the other people.
But I have to get the other people to do it, or write the check, or get the cash, or call
Whatever.
the guy, or tell the other people. So somebody found one 2 hours away without being able to be picked up, and I'm like, there's got to be propane stoves closer. Found one in New London for $100, and the guy's willing to give it. This is for the Peace Trust. Give it to us for $60 because it's a nonprofit. But it's that kind of just like, no, folks, think like think locally. We're not going to Goshen for a stove.
You're not.
No,
Gee.
and none of us own a truck. We're borrowing
Good.
Patrick's van this afternoon. So anyway, but no,
Good.
I'm not. But it's just like suddenly it's hard to. I think that's why practice in the morning. It's like before you're cluttered, before you have to deal with your checklist, before
Yep.
I can put that off. Except when people call and
Yeah. And panic
remind
about
me
their
to add
stuff.
something else to their day, or we're in an emergency, or someone else has found another option in Goshen, and then you're like, just stop before.
So let's do a
So
little flow.
that's So I think I can do this. We can use our arms, right?
Yes,
That's where I had been for a while.
yes, you may.
Was trying very hard to go back and forth between using and not using.
Might even think about
That really takes
opening and
practice.
closing while you're
We'll open and close. Whole body movement.
yeah. issues for you. The the one thing that I noticed was, or one of the things I noticed, after pull down, there's a rotation forward weighted, and then an expansion as you shift back. So that movement was not clear. The other thing for both of you, and it's a difficult piece, I know, is on every follow and focus, not to let yourself shift back. That's and it's hard. Our tendency is to go too far forward, so we have to try to find some way that when we get to here we don't go back at all, that we sit on that, and opening comes weighted on that forward foot.
Yeah. There's all that very subtle opening and closing there, but the body is still, the body's not doing it.
The body is doing it.
How is it?
So, after G, so you're talking about U, I'm presuming. So, when you go here, my body, if I exaggerate this, my body is opening. And then when I step, it's closing. And it closes a little more. And then it opens.
So there's no going back on that close.
Nope. No. You close in,
Close in, not
but
close
you don't
back.
but you don't shift back. Yeah.
Okay, I have to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
And because if you think about it martially, I know you're not going to go out and fight, but
It helps to
you know,
helps for their awareness.
this is separating their arms, and this is drawing them in, and this is bouncing them away. You don't want to be going back and forth in that. And
Is
you
that how far you want to draw them in?
You wait till you play people.
So obviously, when you're actually doing that, you might be drawing them in. You know, it could be any number of things. I always remember Stu Olson's 50 applications of single whip. I mean,
Okay.
all of a sudden, I mean, I've seen Bruce do like 5 for every posture in a form. I didn't know he didn't have any problem doing that. So it just opens up. You say, oh yeah, this is an indication of what might be going on, but it's the reality is if you were actually martially.
You wouldn't use the woo.
Well, you might very well, because you would be doing it mostly energetically at that point and not so much physically. Yeah. But either of you have other questions in there?
Actually, that felt really good.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
the flow seemed pretty good there.
I think I'm still trying to work on slowing it down without stopping.
Yep.
But that takes practice. I didn't do
Yep.
this week so much, but you know.
I did feel for you, Joanne, that your flow was the words that came to my mind was more coherent. It felt like more like a flow today, whereas recently it was kind of broken up.
Yes. I know what you mean.
So it felt like you were getting things
I'm pulling it together.
to connect together. Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Well, and I think there've been a number of places that we've done, not here too, but we've done corrections. So then it's just a matter of making sure you kind of keep that moving and
Yeah.
keep it going. Thank you, David.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not extending because I have to go with Jane to an appointment.
Yeah, and Carol, you've got a dentist appointment, right?
Yeah.
We're all got kind of.
Actually, that's at 12:45, so I've got a little time.
Oh, because
Oh,
I
good.
think at some point you
I
said
thought-
11:45,
It was 11.
and I was like, oh, we need to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
Oh, okay.
It's like it's 12:45.
I have a
Oh,
noon
good.
thing, but I'm always home before noon.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. Good.
And they're going to take us to lunch anyway, so. You know, I could do a little meeting if somebody's feeding me. A little meet and eat.
Absolutely. That's a good thing.
Not bad. I get that often.
It's
I
kind
don't
of hard
have.
to take notes while you're eating.
That's true, and I do always bring paper notes. It's not that kind of it's not an intense meeting. There will be tasks or questions or analysis asked for, or it depends on when. All right, David, enjoy the week.
I will do my best.
Please do.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And enjoy that beautiful Irish sweater.
I am.
Does it come from Ireland?
Yes.
My first Irish sweater came from my uncle
Ooh.
bringing it back.
Oh, how
And I
nice.
still have both of them. I have 2 of them from his trips to Ireland.
Yeah.
Pullover and then a cardigan. So.
My sister used to knit them.
Oh.
She had a roommate in college who would knit fisherman sweaters while she was studying.
Yeah, I actually picked
And you-
up
and you-
knitting while I was going through my first set of finals, which I think was more divergent thing than anything. But I made lots of scarves. I tried. I did make a scarf with an Irish, with some, I could never now think about how I could do that. I gave it to my cousin
Pay too
Jimmy.
much
I hope
attention.
he still has it.
My mother was a knitter. I mean, I had a sweater,
A lot of things.
more than one sweater that she knitted for me when I was.
Yeah, I did
Particularly
it for
growing
several
up.
years, and then once I had kids, it was like one of the things that fell by the
Sometimes I do
wayside.
it when I'm watching TV.
My mother was my mother crocheted a lot. Those little granny squares. I have millions of those.
My grandmother, when she was just before she died, she had knitted all her life. She was
Yeah.
always making mittens and hats and stuff. But she couldn't see very well. So she was doing it in my field, and she would do 10-stitch strips
Oh.
and in different colors.
Ooh.
And then my mother would fold them in half and sew them into a spiral,
Like a rug.
Yeah.
And I'm working on the last one.
Oh, how neat.
So this is.
Many generations.
Yeah.
I was what, 19 when she died. So
Oh, wow.
this is
It's been a while.
yeah. They sat in a box in my aunt's house, and they cleaned that out. And
What do we do with these? What do we
So-
do with these? Right.
So I've got our house has a bunch of them.
That's great. That's great.
That
My
is.
grandmother was a tailor, so I taught the kids to sew very young, they all sew.
I